Alright, what's good, y'all? What's good? What's good? So, this video was made, well, what I'm going to be speaking on was made for James Hardy a few years ago, and YouTube deleted the video because of what I was talking about. So, it's back up again. And this is for my friend James Hardy. So, while you listening, you made a video and you was speaking on the homeless just up and disappearing in the community, and they have been doing that around here too for the past couple years, but now they're gone. You know, the homeless people had a spot. They're homeless. They made a home wherever home was, under bridges, underpasses, alleyways, outside of certain buildings, you know, not out in the open, but somewhat in the open. But let me just tell everybody what's been going on with that. All them homeless people that y'all remember seeing and somehow just vanished. Not in the thin air, but they just vanished. They're being used till this day. Back then, they were being used. Jane Hardy was taking a stroll and showing some locations. And one location that stood out to me the most, and I tried to tell her in the video, but YouTube took it down. The video where she was out and there was this mound. Wasn't a lot of grass on the hill, but it was just a little bit of greenery. There was a fence that was there that was no longer there, and the gate was open. Tire tracks going all up and through there. I want to let Jane know that back then, when that gate was closed, and then when it was open, when the gate was finally open, there is no trace left of where they went, how they went. They erased that. You could see the beginning tracks, maybe a few tracks going on up in there, but then they look like they went to nowhere. That is because the elites, covered their tracks. When I say the elites, I'm speaking on the same people that control the dome. The same people that are responsible for geoengineering, the cloud seeding, putting things in our food supply. Putting stuff in our food supply. Riding around in Sprinter vans with artificial names on the side. Artificial, I don't mean artificial intelligence. I mean, you Verizon, but you really ain't. You Philadelphia Cable Company, but you're really not. In there observing and communication tapping in people. You know, data collecting people. All they gotta do is pull up, suck up all your info from all your devices in your home, and boom, will report back. This is who we need to watch out for. Those that put storms above communities and hurricanes over, I'm talking about those people. They all one big family, but they all got a job to do. So Jane, what I want to say to you is that when you were pointing out that the tire tracks went so far, and then everybody was wondering if you got this going on in your community, which I did as well, and I know Jane's seen that video too. And then the tire tracks end. That is because they covered up their tire tracks, and the entrance is not too far from those tire tracks. What entrance is he talking about? For those of y'all that don't know, they do have underground facilities and they've been doing underground mining for years, y'all. Underground mining for years. Secret operations. I mean, it's none of my business. I could care less, but I will say, I mean, the people, we do not have the right to know what they're doing. We should care less. But when it brings harm to the environment and us, we do have a right to know. And everything that they have been doing was bringing harm to us. So with that being said, they've been mining underground for years. Y'all thought the Cheyenne Mountains was the only underground facility for safety. No, they got underground facilities which they operate and observe what's going on above them. Now, I will say this, and not to scare anybody in California, as much as I want to visit California, listen to me, that would be a dream to visit California and link up with Jane, and we go do some research together. We would come up with some extraordinary evidence. So that would be like the Timo Supremo. If me and her linked up into the video, we would come up with some epic evidence. So Jane, when you see this, just know that we do need to link up so we can get this out there and share it to the world. But until that day come, I'm gonna speak it on here. So in these underground bunkers, y'all, there are things that go on. I don't know if you've ever seen the video. I know you heard the song Another Brick on the Wall. Google Another Brick on the Wall and look for the actual video. And in the beginning of the video, it has this teacher in the classroom coming up to the boy's desk, and he said, "What is this gibberish that you're writing?" "Oh, he calls himself a poet." And then the teacher starts rapping, and then he says the N-word. Who cares? I don't care for that word. But in the video, they show these kids on a roller conveyor. Like 50 kids going down a roller conveyor. And as a roller conveyor ends, like it'll end here, and then down they fall. But then they fall into a meat grinder. Now in this video, the guy says, "How are you going to get your pudding?" The teacher says, "How are you going to get your pudding if you don't eat your meat?" So these people were falling, I'm going to say people, were falling into this meat grinder. They actually show you the meat grinder at the bottom, and when they came out, they were ground meat. I'm going to leave that one on y'all for y'all to think about. So with that being said, oh, let me say this too. There is no escape. Whatever you want to do here, whatever you want to eat, whatever you want to, there is no escape. We are all messing with tainted stuff. Everything under the sun is tainted. There is no escape. No matter how healthy you want to live your life, it's not happening. That's what they tell you. We good, we good, we good. How much do they get paid to spread that lie? But when you use your common sense, everything that we are here by is part of us. I ain't saying partake in it, but we are part of it. So in some way, shape, or form, we are decaying ourselves anyway. So in these facilities, y'all, they got a lot of projects they're performing on people. To them, they might not be people. They are science projects. They're lab rats. All y'all homeless people wonder where they went. Sprinter vans pulling people in the side, and they pull up in the middle of the night. Homeless family, a whole homeless family. I don't mean kid, mother, father, daughter. I'm talking about friend, drinking buddies, whatever. People that were forgot about, nobody cared about them. They're bums, whatever you want to call them. Those people was missing on corners and then on hillsides with tents. Like Jane posted the tent up on the hill, the remnants of a tent and a cactus bushel where cactuses was growing. She found socks. She found brand new pair of Adidas in the desert. In the desert, I ain't gonna call it a desert, but most probably would. You know, a brand new pair of Adidas on the ground. Like, who leaves these behind? And it's almost like the homeless people was just grabbed up in the middle of the night, and what little bit was left was just left there. Homeless people don't got a car. Let's get that straight. They don't have cars. Um, if you had a car, then you could sleep in your car, so you ain't homeless. All right. But so homeless people ain't got a car. They can't drive to get away. They don't have these resources that you and I have. So they ain't just gonna up and be gone and be good in the middle of the night. You hear me? They're not gonna be up and gone in the middle of the night, because people that eventually become homeless after having a home can't set themselves up for the better in a matter of an hour or 3 hours or even 3 days. So these homeless people vanish in one night, no trace. Nobody know where they are. Somebody might have been walking by them once a week or 3 times a week, just giving them breakfast or giving them a coffee, saying hi, God bless you, stuff like that. And then all of a sudden they gone. They was brought down into those mounds, those hills, the mounds, you know, like a baseball mound you stand on. Well, that hill, in that little hill was a bunker. It's a facility, and it stretches for miles. This is why I feel bad for people that live in California. And for those that don't know, that California is the capital for reptilian evil. The reptilians rule California. That's who runs Hollywood. For those that don't know, reptilians run Hollywood. That's why y'all see a lot of Hollywood actors walking around with sunglasses on. They don't want you to see them shape-shifting. And when you do catch them with their sunglasses off, some of them know how to control their shifting into another being. And then if they're not one of the beings and you just happen to capture a clone, they can't stay out much long, because after so long they get dumb. You know, that's like eating clone meat. You know, you eating a retarded chicken. So with that being said, I just want y'all to know that they don't practice, y'all. They engineer creatures, beings, send them back out into the public eye. And y'all say, wait a minute, my uncle left, but he came back. He wasn't the same person. That's because that wasn't your uncle. But it's not only in California now, y'all. It has been stretching out. It's in Colorado in the mountains. And it's stretching out for miles. That's why a lot of y'all in Florida is having these sinkholes open up. That is because they've been mining in these areas. And then after taking away, it just gives, because there's nothing to support what's sitting up on top. So they cave in. Well, if it caved in, how come I didn't see the structures that they built in there? Keep in mind, they really are smart and intelligent, and they use this special technology to know where to build these underground facilities. So whenever something does collapse, which they know it will not interfere with the structure that they built. That's why y'all never see the structure or the life that's going on underground. And then y'all wonder where all the water is going, because they taking the water and pumping it down there so they can have drinking water, shower. They don't got to come back up here, y'all. For years, they've been living underground. Yeah, y'all ain't know that? They've been living underground for years. You haven't, but they have. All right? They've already adapted to the underground life. It's a real world down there. Totally different than up here. But like I told y'all before, I was the one that told y'all there is a place that is just the same, but not as brightly lit. The dark side. Not the Twilight Zone. Tales from the dark side. There is another world that is just the same as this, but not as brightly lit. See that beam coming down in this video? But a dark side. That's all I'm saying. So with that being said, when y'all see all of this, you know, then as above, so below. A lot of y'all don't know, up there, that's where the water is. That's why it rains for so-called 40 days. Y'all Bible said 40, it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. That wasn't no magical shit. They opened up, let it rain in certain areas. They control the dome. Little do y'all know, so you got this big ass ball, right? And then all I gotta do is make the sun, so-called sun, shift here, shift there, shift there. When a light bulb burns out, what do? You put a new one in. Our old light bulb, son, they switched it out and put a new one in. This is why this motherfucker's hotter than the last one. I don't know how many they replaced. You know, I know they replaced this one. I done caught on to them replacing the one that I used to be able to walk around with and not get. This sun right here beats you up after 3 strokes of cutting the grass. And I'm talking back in the day when I was cutting grass. Not that you getting older, that's why you tired. I'm talking about back in the day when I was a young prime roller. The sun was tearing me up, but when I was a young poop squatter, it wasn't doing nothing to me. All I wanted to do was get outside and play in it. Yeah, that's for y'all that got something smart to say in the comments. What? Tune out. Tune in to something else. But all is welcome here. Y'all see that shining? It's not the sun. That's what they told you it was. You had to go get some of that indoctrination to know what that's called. The sun. We need that. We'll die. Who told y'all that? Who told y'all if we don't have that, we will die? The human body needs that. Let me tell y'all something. I've been a night being my whole life. I love the night. I love to be outside in the dark. My soul comes, what they call the soul, my soul comes alive at night. I'm something else when it's dark outside. I look beautiful in the sunlight. My skin glow, that gold, copper skin tone. Yeah, it does glow when the sun is out. But I love the nightfall. When nightfall hit, whoo, it's a wrap. But anyway, I just want to say to a friend of mine, Jane Tondi, I just thought I'd share that with you. That is what's going on in your area. They are still mining. Not they have mined. They will be mining for years and years to come. Their shopping malls, facilities as well as they had up here, they are underground as well. They're underground as well. Everything that you do up here, they do it down there. Well, they don't have a sun down there. Y'all heard what I said, as above, so below. Where do y'all think the actual light comes from? You really think it comes from up there, the source of it? That's just a reflected device coming from the source. You and I will never know what our source is. Live, love, laugh, and smile. Love y'all. Stay blessed.